So, frying up a little grub this morning. We got another, well, it's noon now. I guess you'd call that brunch, wouldn't you? So, still no power due to flooding issues now that we got here. It's been off about 3 hours now. And so I'm just frying up a little breakfast on my handy dandy Coleman butane stove. Broke it out again, you guys. I'm telling you, you gotta be prepared for when the power goes out. Been using my, hooked my coffee pot up just to test it because I've got other means of making coffee, but I wanted to try my power station I just got in. Works great. And so I've had coffee and fixing breakfast and all's good, you know. So I am good here. Alrighty, come back to y'all soon. Hello, you guys. So, this is the situation I'm in now. We've just had massive flooding here in this region. I'm in my home state of Eastern Kentucky. I'm actually at my home this morning, and I was gone on a weekend trip. Just got back yesterday evening, and it had rained all weekend where I was at too, but here obviously, and then last night it just really dumped a bunch of rain on us. And I live right on the river, which I've been on the river my whole life. I understand how it works. I mean, but I do believe because it hasn't crested yet, I think this is the highest that I have ever seen it since I've been here, I believe. Possibly, well, probably. I think it was probably higher in 77, maybe. Telling my age, aren't I? But anyway, so there's like 2 or 3 bank levels before you get to my house. You can see where the edge of my house is here. So right there is part of my deck. And then there is a drop down to the first level, and that's where the river is now. But it's actually up past that a little bit. And usually when it gets high, you know, we have maybe 2 or 3, at least one high water event throughout the year here. You know, the creeks are the worst with the people who live right on the creeks. The flash flooding, I think that's where the biggest part of the danger comes in, because it's so fast. It's so fast. You know, you have those flash floods with when a big bunch of rain is dumped in, and it just rises so fast that people can't do anything. It's not like that on the river. It takes days and days for the river to really raise like this. But the problem here is when you have these wintertime rains, we just got through with the ice and snow flooding or melting. You know, the ice and snow that we had last month, at least for 2 weeks straight. And when all that melted, it's run off, of course, and you know, ultimately collects in the river. And then when you have a bunch of rain, a whole weekend of rain on top of that, that's what's happened here. And that's the reason that it is higher than usual before it crests. So it looks worse than what it is, you guys. It really does. Like I said, I grew up on the river even when I was a kid, so I've been around it my whole life, and it doesn't really scare. I mean, you know, I respect it. I have great respect for the river, for nature, and you got to know what to do. You got to know how to be prepared. And still, you know, you have folks trying to drive through where water's over the road and all that stuff, and it's so dangerous. But so I'm going to walk around here. I'm going to turn the camera around and assess the situation here. Now I'm going to turn this around. So there's my camper, you guys. It's on a little higher ground, so I might have to move to that. But, you know, I'm in one of these situations that where I'm located, and it doesn't look like it where I'm at now, you guys, but this river would have to come up several more feet to get to the level that I'm walking on. If you can see where I'm, you know, this is where I'm walking. And this is downhill. I still have a pretty steep bank right here, so it's probably about, oh, I don't know, 12, about 15 foot maybe, I don't know, or less. And so that's a lot of of raising that it would still have to do to get to this flat level, you know, where my house is at and all that. Now you can see out here my outbuilding sets toward the back there a little bit. You can always tell from year to year, you know, when you get these flooding events, how bad it is. And so I'm going to walk down here and see what it looks like behind this building. See, it still has a long ways to go. I mean, I'm in one of those places where, like I said, it looks worse than what it is here at my area. And I mean, if it was to get, you know, you can kind of tell perspective there. If it was to get into my house here, up to that level, it would get everybody up and down this road. And y'all, that's not to say that it can't happen. Just because it has never happened does not mean that it cannot happen, you know? And especially with the times that we're living in, I'm telling you, I still believe that all of this is biblical. As I may have mentioned before in some of my posts, you know, I believe that the pandemic, the coronavirus, and all this stuff that we went through last year, plus the increased weather situation, it's all tied together, y'all. Not to do any preaching or anything here, but I believe, y'all know I'm a person of faith, and I truly believe that this is a wake-up call. I think God's given everybody a wake-up call who hasn't, you know, who doesn't believe and hasn't accepted Him yet. And, you know, it's Scripture being fulfilled. You can believe or not believe, but I absolutely do believe. And that's why I don't worry about anything. That's why I'm not scared about anything, because He's going to take care of everything in His time. So, anyway, getting back to the river situation. So, I'm going to walk around the back of the building and see what this looks like. One thing good about the water being over the road in some places, it's no traffic. Okay, so yeah, you can see. So here's the back of my building. So, and see how that's going downhill there. So it still has a way, you know, a long ways to go. It would really, but yeah, I'm telling you all, it's quit raining. You know, it quit raining, I think, early in the morning, or around, let's see, I was looking at it before the internet went out, because my power's off. Power went off this morning, but it quit early on in the morning sometime. And I'm telling you, now, if it had not, now that's the problem. Now, if you had a situation like this and it was still raining, had not stopped, it would be up here. It would get up here. So it's absolutely possible. And, you know, could be one of those 100-year floods, and it does happen. So I am really, really concerned about the people who live where the backwater does get up from the river, and the people who live on these creeks that have done the flash, you know, that's had flash flooding issues. I'm really concerned for them. I just pray that nobody has been hurt or killed or anything through this. Like I said, my internet is out, so I'm kind of out of commission right now. Have seen some pictures there this morning before it went out. But take another look around. I'm going to take a walk later where I am located. There's probably 2 or 3, well, they're on this whole road, on my whole road here, there's several places where the road dips down. I remember when I was a kid, when the water would get up, you know, the school bus couldn't run because it would get over the road. But so there's several dips in the road where it does get over. It has to get very, very high for that to happen. But it has happened now. I've only seen like one vehicle go through. It was a power truck or a phone. It's either, I don't know if it was an electric company or the phone company, because they're the only ones, I guess, high enough that could get through. Some kind of high-based vehicle could get through. But I ain't trying it, and y'all don't try it either. Please don't ever try to drive through that water. It's so dangerous. It could be swept out. Vehicle stall out and you're gone, and nothing you can do. All right, you guys, I'm going to venture out and take a walk and assess the situation. Talk soon. Hey guys, so I'm having coffee out here looking over the situation. Took a little walk a while ago, and so I'm sitting here, and the sun is trying to come out. It was out a little bit more earlier. It's just kind of going in now, these clouds. So I'm trying to enjoy this because I can't, the power is out, internet's out. I can't work from home, and I can't, my road is blocked by water on both ends. So I couldn't get to my office if I wanted to, if I, to work down there. So nothing I can do right now. Sitting here and watching this. So, like I said, sitting on my deck, looking over the water situation. So is River. That's my puppy. And you guys, like I said before, I grew up on the river, and this is the highest I believe that I have ever seen it. I do believe it is the highest I've ever seen it, and thank God it quit raining is all I can say, because it's still quite a ways away from me, but knowing how it does, how it has done in the past, well, it still hasn't crested. I'd say it won't crest till, it probably won't crest till tomorrow, I wouldn't think. It's possible it might lake tonight, maybe, but there's so much runoff off these mountains, and off the streams, and creeks and everything. I don't know. I think it's gonna be up for a while. You can always see by the trees, whether it's went down any or not. And of course it has not yet. It's gonna raise before it goes down. So it is quite interesting. Like I said, I'm used to this, but it looks scarier than what it is. But so I was sitting here a minute ago. I was wanting to enjoy the sunshine if I could, and the branches down here where the water is rushing against them and putting so much pressure on them, they're starting to pop and break. Down there, some of the old dead limbs of trees that's fallen. So you hear popping, and but I like to sit here too and watch what all you can see go down in the drift in the river. It runs so swift. Y'all see that? A while ago there was some crows riding the drift. I always get a kick out of that. And you see everything in the world. Used to when I was growing up, that's how we got. Well, I don't think we ever bought a ball. We'd always get balls to play with that had washed up along the riverbank from a flood, when the river would get up. So you see balls go down, and anything, anything float. Well, I've seen all kinds of stuff over the years, but it's a sad situation because these things have washed out from people's yards and their homes, and I just feel so bad for people who are having to deal with this. And this is major. I think this may be one of the worst floods that we've ever had. We'll get more details on it later, but anyway, I wanted you guys to take a look. Oh, there's Bob. He's ventured out. So all the critters, all of my crew here is checking it out. They're like, Mom, this is bigger than usual. So they've been out checking everything out. The only vehicles that went by are trucks, that are higher wheelbase trucks out just checking out the situation. I'm blocked on both ends. There's a dip on down on one side of the road and down on the other too. So, I'd say, I don't know when that'll go down. It might be a day or two actually, because this is pretty high. There goes some more crows. Getting ready to take a ride. All right, you guys, check in with you later. There goes like a big bucket or something. Looks like a big old white plastic bucket floating down the river. I just saw something a while ago, you guys. I didn't have my glasses on, but up here on this upper, the front section here, where the water's not quite as swift, it looked something dark, and it was kept bobbing back up. I mean, it was down for a while, and then it popped up. down for a while and it pop up, and I praying to God it wasn't an animal. I couldn't see its head. I don't think it was, but that was really weird. But you know, this stuff is floating down the river like this plastic stuff. It's so buoyant. Like I said, when I was growing up, we used to, you know, find all kinds of things, and we used to also, we'd shoot drift, you know, stuff that was riding on the drift there. Or floating down, you know, like that bucket that you just saw a minute ago. Right there's some kind of plastic, another plastic container, if you can see that. I don't know, you see it looks like some kind of, I don't know, greenish looking plastic. And those things that we'd see would become targets. So we got a lot of target shooting in when I was a kid. 22 rifles, the best thing for that. I haven't done that in ever. So this is the situation, you guys. And it will continue to rise for a while longer before it starts going down. So, walking on down my road, this is the situation. And it really has to be high to get over here. There's a dip on down further from here that it usually gets over at. But in this little flat section here, you can see where the guardrail is. It really has to be high before it gets here. So that's saying something. Here's the road. And this is the Vasa Fork, you guys. And it runs through eastern Kentucky. Flows into the Big Sandy River, which in turn flows into the Ohio River. So everybody in our region, eastern Kentucky region, West Virginia, which is along the Tug Fork River, the Tug Fork and the Lavasa come together and flow into the Big Sandy, which, like I said, flows into the Ohio. So still gonna do some raising. But you guys, there it has come down just a little bit. Do you see that? It may crest earlier than what we think. I didn't figure it would crest till late tonight, but if it's cresting right now, you can see where it's went down just an inch or two. You see that? Then that's good news. Like I said, you gotta find the positives. Look over at the balls, you guys. There's two I can see right off. See that? Looks like a beach ball and a basketball over here. Yep, another beach ball and a basketball. Like I said, we never had to buy a ball when I was a kid. We just gathered them up when the river would get up. We always had something to play ball with. Well, it's a sad situation. But I'm so thankful that the rain has stopped, you guys. Something to be, it's like I said before, this is bad, but it could have been much worse. Bad indeed. But thank the Lord the rain has stopped, and hopefully now I feel really good to have seen this fall a little bit on the tree line. So that's a good thing. So everybody stay safe out there. If you're anywhere where high water is, please be safe. Don't take any chances. Don't try to drive through it. It's not worth it. It's not worth it at all. Don't risk your life. Okay, you guys. The power is still off, so it's been off now. It's right now about 2 o'clock, a little after 2 o'clock. It's been off since about 9, a little before 9 this morning. So we'll see what happens. Stay tuned. Living off the grid again. Hey y'all, just got back from a walk, checking out the high water situation all around me. Thankfully, it looks like it has crested. You can see it on the trees, the line on the trees, so I'm so thankful for that. I just wanted to mention to you guys about, we were talking earlier about water. When the water is up like this, you're not going to be able to use it. You can use it to bathe in and that kind of thing, but you definitely don't want to drink it or cook with it after the water has been up like that for sanitation purposes. I'm sure they'll be sending out boil water advisories whenever you can get phone service. But So anyway, another great thing to have on hand. And if you guys saw one of my earlier videos back in the summer, I did about this. These are the big water jugs, of course, that you get at Walmart or grocery stores or wherever. You get these at a lot of different places. The 5-gallon jugs. And the water pumps that you can get to put on top. This is from Amazon. I told y'all about this in that video back in August, I believe it was. And you can get 2 different kinds. This is a manual pump, which just, you know, it's a hand pump. You just push it down and the water comes out. They also have the USB models of the pumps that, for me, I think I don't see the sense of that, because you're going to have to charge it up, even though you can get many uses out of one charge. Why would you do that? It's just not necessary, not for me anyway. So I keep this. I've had it in my camper van, and then through the winter I brought it in the house. So still have plenty of water left. And just like in a situation like this, you guys, I mean, without power now, it hasn't been a full day yet, but I mean, I'm good here for several days. I mean, really, you know, I got a way to cook. I got heat. Got propane heat, wood heat. I got a butane stove, way to cook, make coffee. Got water, stocked up with water, and so all's good. You know, the only thing that would be of concern at this point is the refrigerator. If the power does stay out for some time, and I do have, because I got my power station in, it does say that it will power up a full-size fridge according to the demonstration video. I think maybe up to 8 hours. So you guys, I mean, that if I have to do that, I have that ability now. But my next big purchase is going to be for a portable refrigerator. The cooler type, you know, that you can use in the vehicle, but you can certainly use in the house too. So, you know, once I have that covered, I'm pretty much golden. I like living off grid anyway, so I'm working on getting everything situated where I can do that for extended periods of time, and I like it. So anyway, you guys, just wanted to mention that about the water. This is a great thing to have on hand. Stock up at your home in case this happens. See ya. Good morning, everyone. This is my current situation here this morning after the flooding issues that we've had here where I'm at in eastern Kentucky. Last night, I was out checking it with a flashlight, you guys, because first time ever since I've lived here that I was actually concerned, worried. I've lived here pretty much my whole life. Well, I've been here at this particular property for 26 years, but grew up just down the road. So, you know, I've lived on this river all my life. And I know where it gets to, even though it looks scarier. You know, it sometimes looks worse than what it is, because I have like 3 levels down from my home. You can see where the river actually is. So it's past all those levels, and as you can see, it's up to the, you know, level to where my house is, almost. I'm thinking probably it raised a little bit overnight because they let some water out of the dams upstream because of the pressure. So I mean, it's still probably, I don't know, in parts over here, 5 or 6 feet from getting to this top level where my home is, where my deck begins. So, but the good news is, you know, it has not rained anymore, and there's no more rain in the forecast for the next several days, unless that changes. And it's supposed to crest this afternoon, is what they're saying. So, probably would have crested last night, but where they released that water, it's caused it to raise a little bit more, you know, but it's supposed to raise this crest this afternoon. And then when that happens, it will start falling rather quickly. Still over the road, of course. I'm trapped on both ends, you know, both sides of my property. The road is impassable, so it's over in 2 different places. So this is massive. It's all through our region. I serve a merciful God. That's all I can say. You know, he didn't have to let it quit raining, and but he did, and I'm so thankful, because had the rain not stopped, I'd be standing in this water right now. So I hope everyone out there is safe. If you're in this region or anywhere where it's flooding, please stay safe. Use common sense. Boil your water. Don't drink the water. And just keep informed and help anybody if you can. And please try to get assistance if you need it. So everybody stay safe. So far so good. And y'all, I think this is probably going to wrap up the the survival video on the flood now. And y'all, like I said, I've lived here my whole life, and the last that I can recall in 1977 was a major flood. I guess the major flood of my lifetime, other than this, but it's not been this bad since 77. I can remember when I was a kid, my parents being concerned about it, and us walking around and looking at the yard and everything, watching the levels. So, you know, we had a major flood in 37, 57, and 77. So now here we are again. Oh gosh, something's just going down the river. If you guys can see that. It looks like something round. What is that? Can y'all see that? It's weird. Well, it's hard to tell what we're going to see now going down the river. All right, you guys take care. Stay safe. Remember, don't wait to live. It's an adventure, good or bad, ain't it? All right, see you down the road.